Alright, hello everyone. Here we are, Santa Ventura Hole number 3 here, Master Tees. Now what I'm going to recommend for, definitely the more average case, as you can kind of see what we're up against here, is, just put the ball out in play here. I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to land it right about here, let the wind effect take it. In terms of if you want me to put elevations to this, especially straight into the wind, I'm going to go about probably plus 20%, so 1 per ring in this situation. So right around 9 rings and no curl, just basically put it out in play and just get it up there to a good sniper range to where you're not going to have to worry about your second shot coming from the rough and being very wind specific. You're just going to see me position it out there straight out in the middle, and you could easily get out to where I just did with basically just about any driver in the game. It just might require just a tiny bit of power, but you can see that the way that I did it, it's going to be a lot less power-based shot, which is nice. Just kind of right using the max ring adjustment number. Just going to make things a lot easier to control and figure out distance-wise. The only thing that you might have a little bit trouble with is, estimating your ball guide using that method. But overall, it should give you a very good, sense of how far it's going to roll out and everything, just being the fact that it's straight into a headwind. So, it should want to check up quite a bit after, 2 or 3 bounces of rollout there. So let's take a look here at what we have. I usually don't play elevation, maybe even minus 5% at kind of the high end, somewhere in between there. Doesn't matter that you get too technical, between 5 and 0%. Should be pretty spot on. I'll usually use 4 backspin. I'm going to use 5 in this situation. You can also see that I'm almost towards max, but not quite. So maybe 12.6 rings maybe. Right around there. So unable to get my perfect ball. It's going to shoot out towards the left. It's even coming in too hot. So I did not account for enough offset. It was 13 tailwind. I tried to keep it 2 yards short, but it looks like I didn't do a very good job of doing that. Otherwise, it wouldn't have came in that hot. It was probably a little bit of limited ball guide, showing that it was probably would have rolled out, or at least been within a yard or so of rolling out, and then with the wind effect probably affecting it at least 3 yards, made it come in much hotter with that second bounce. So something to think about definitely. For the bigger the tailwind, the harder it gets. Usually right around 10 miles per hour. What I did probably would have definitely been a lot better result. So the stronger that tailwind goes, the hotter it comes in, and there you can see that my opponent is well even beyond that. So definitely going to be something that will fluctuate depending on how much tailwind you actually have. But at the same time, as you pull back more rings, and I pull back towards, say, min club, you want to worry about, the wind getting out of the wind starts to get outside of the max ring value, which is changing the trajectory. It comes in a little bit lower and doesn't get affected by as much wind. So you got to be careful in those situations, because there'll be certain times where it just won't carry out far enough if you pull back too much. So definitely something to be careful of. But good luck with that hole, guys. I'll try to get you guys some more revisions, and I'll catch you guys on this shootout momentarily.